Hey Kel Kats, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Kelsi Davies, and today I'm going to be talking about 6 murder mysteries that were never solved to this day. I haven't done one of these videos in a while, and I am super excited to be back with videos like this. I'll also be doing the haunted exploration videos, but when COVID settles, because the places I can go are very limited right now, so I'm super excited to share what I found with you guys. Now let's get into the creepy shit. So this event occurred on December 30th, 2000 to the Miyazawa family. This was a very gruesome murder that occurred in Tokyo, Japan. And that night, the dad, mom, and 2 children ages 10 and 6 were all stabbed to death by an unknown assailant. After committing this horrific crime, he stabbed them all to death. The killer stayed in the house and used their bathroom and didn't even bother to flush. So he left a significant amount of DNA in the household. You would think he would be caught by now, but police have still not been able to identify this killer. Even though there is so much DNA evidence, they're not sure who to match it to. So this case remains unsolved. This next mystery is known as the Bear Brook murders. Back in 1985, a metal drum containing remains of a woman and a young girl were found near New Hampshire in Bear Brook State Park. They believe the 2 were related in some way, possibly a mother and daughter, but the 2 were never identified. Then it gets really weird. So 15 years later, another metal drum was discovered just 100 feet away from where the other one was discovered back in 1985. This one contained 2 bodies of 2 young girls, and get this, one of the girls were actually related to the 2 people who were found in the drum barrel 15 years ago. So was this the same person? All they could determine about these victims is that they were Caucasian and they had poor dental health, which suggests that they lived a transient lifestyle. But judging from the bodies and how badly they were deteriorated, the detectives think that they were possibly murdered back in 1977. And this case remains a mystery to this day. I honestly think it was someone in the family, I don't know. Next we're gonna go into Little Lord Fontleroy. So this happened back in March of 1921, and the body of a 6-year-old boy was actually fished out from a pond in Wisconsin. This little boy had been killed by a blow to the head and may have been in the water for several months before they discovered him. And because of his expensive clothing he was wearing, he was dubbed as the name Little Lord Fauntleroy. They even put his body on display at a local funeral home, offering $1,000 to anyone who can identify this little boy. But no one ever came forward. Later on, it was developed that an employee of a business near the pond actually ran into a couple who were looking for their lost son. They were really upset and then had driven away very heartbroken. So they're not sure where the couple went or if they know that their little boy was found. But this crime still remains a mystery a century later. Okay, this one's pretty disturbing. So on April 18th, 1943, there were 4 local boys named Robert Hart, Thomas Willits, Bob Farmer, and Fred Payne. So the little boys were poaching or bird nesting in Hagley Wood, which is part of the Hagley estate belonging to Lord Cobham near Wychbury Hill, UK. So as the boys were wandering around, they actually came across a hollow tree. And what they found inside the tree was very shocking. They found an entire human skeleton. So of course, one of the boys went to the police and told them what he had found. And upon investigation, it was revealed that the corpse's mouth was stuffed with something, and hidden along with her body was a gold wedding ring and a shoe. They determined the cause of death to be suffocation, and they believe that the body was placed in the tree when it was still warm and freshly deceased. But then it gets weird. Strange graffiti started appearing within the crooks of town saying, "Who put Bella in the Witch Elm?" Of course, this was very disturbing and scary to have someone die in your town and then they write all over the walls, "Who put Bella in the Witch Elm?" So because of the graffiti and writing everywhere, this case became more popular, but it still remains an unsolved mystery as to who killed this woman and who started writing all the graffiti. Was it related? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. The next one I'm gonna get into is the Chicago Tylenol murders. This freaks me out because this could totally happen, and it did, and it's just really, it's scary. So on September 29th, 1982, a series of people were actually poisoned by cyanide-laced Tylenol. And this Tylenol was purchased at like pharmacies and just trustworthy locations. No one's sure why this happened or how this happened, but this act of violence created a nationwide panic because it's Tylenol. Tylenol's so common, and to lace it with cyanide is freaking terrifying. Tylenol was forced to pull $100 million worth of products off their shelves. They also had to change their bottles to tamper-proof bottles that are sealed shut so that someone can't lace it. It still remains a mystery as to who did this and why they would do something like this. And the last one I'm gonna get into is the Villisca Axe Murder House. So this happened on the night of June 10th, 1912. Kind of around Lola's era, because Lola passed away in 1919, so it's kind of around her era. But this happened in Villisca or Villisca, I'm not sure how to say it, Iowa. And on this night, the Moore family had just returned home from church. So in the house were the two parents, their 4 children, as well as 2 of the children's friends who were spending the night. Then something tragic happened. The next morning, neighbors found the entire family and the 2 visiting children all hacked to death with an axe. It's so weird because there was no sign of forced entry into the house, and only one child was found out of their bed. So they were all still in their beds. You would think they would hear screams and like run out, but it's just kind of a mystery as to how they all remained asleep during all this, except for that one child who obviously had woken up. They believe that the murderer actually hid out in the attic while the family was at church and just waited till they all fell asleep, because they found a pile of cigarette butts sitting in the attic and none of them had gone up there and smoked, you know, so it was just really strange. But back then they didn't have like DNA testing and all that with the cigarette butts, so they never found the killer. And it's actually said that the whole family still haunts that house to this day. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you guys let me know what to talk about next, what you guys want to hear in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Also hit that notification bell so that you guys know when I post, and I will see you guys in my next video.